Hey, what's going on, guys? First of all, I would like to thank all of my new subscribers for checking out the channel and subscribing. And thanks to CBR 600RR Turbo and Alexander Dietz and Tough Thumbs and anyone else who has helped me gain subscribers. Alright, I got a few knives I have to modify this week, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got lined up here. I got a Socom Delta. We'll be anodizing the titanium backspacer and I guess liner lock, inset liner lock bronze, and we'll be heat anodizing all the hardware bronze. And the blade for it, we'll be getting an acid wash with my tooth pattern. As you can see, the blade is pretty scratched up, and so I'm going to be acid washing this. I've got nail polish on the places that I do not want it to etch, like on the blade where the pattern is, and then inside the pivot area where the ball bearings ride against, and then on the lock face, because you do not want to, if you don't cover that up and you etch it, it eats away metal. So you'll have a little later lockup if you don't cover that up. I have a Spyderco Techno here. Pretty cool. It's the first time I've handled one of these. It's actually very ergonomic. I mean, it's only like a 2-inch blade, but you could really do some stuff with this. It has a very thick blade, robust tip. You could pry with this, no problem. But this is going to be blue. Anodize this blue and carbonize the lock. It's very smooth knife. Has a blue backspacer in it, all TI. And next, Spyderco Manix. This is brand new in box. This was sent in to be sharpened on the wicked edge. You can see the factory edge on there is still razor sharp, but I'm going to be putting a mirror polished finish on this, so it'd be nice to see what we can accomplish on the wicked edge in a couple hours, or if it even takes that long. And then next up, we got a couple Spyderco sages. This is an all TI sage. Customer sent this in because it has a lot of scratches on the titanium, and I'm gonna have it in the multi-etch for a while. The multi-etch will remove those scratches, and then I'm gonna anodize it bronze, carbonize the lock on it. Maybe smooth it out because it won't flick open very good right now. Next up is a half titanium, half carbon fiber sage. This was switched by me. This is the other one I had for sale. I'm going to be anodizing this front side blue and sharpening it on the wicked edge. So there's all the before, and then I'll come back and show you guys when I'm done the after of everything. Alright, just wanted to show you this real quick before I anodize it. This is the sage handles. I've got access to a Stonewasher at work that stonewashes, or it looks pretty much like the Hinder Stonewasher that I've seen at the ranch. And here's the before. This was bead blasted, and after 2 hours in the Stonewasher, you can see that it looks very, very much like the Hinder Stonewash. I mean, you cannot really tell the difference between this and the Hinder Stonewash. So that's pretty awesome. It's a lot better than the hand Stonewash that I do. It's a lot more polished, more consistent. It just looks awesome. So on special occasions, if you have something that needs to be stonewashed, I could bring it to work. If it's a Hinder related item, then I would definitely bring it over there to get it stonewashed to match Hinder's finish. But still see some scratches going that way that were originally there. They were pretty deep, but the rest of it's pretty much gone. Alright, check this out. Here's a cool experiment that really came out just like I thought it would. We got blue on the inside of the stage 2 scales, and I threw it in the Stonewasher for a few hours. So we got this real nice stonewash finish on the outside of the scales because I had them stuck together like that in the Stonewasher, screwed together, so all the outside and all the edges got stonewashed, but the inside is blue and the outside is bronze and stonewashed, and it gives a really cool look. Like the inside is blue where the stonewash didn't remove the anodizing, is all blue, and under bright light you can see that it's a bronze, but when you catch light at a different angle or maybe where it's darker, you can see like right now it's more of a blue color, like a blue hint or a blue haze, if you can see that. But when you glare it off the light though, it's an obvious bronze. It's very cool. This is a very cool experiment right here. Bronze, and then like under a different angle it looks more blue. I guess because it didn't remove 100% of the blue anodizing on the surface, so you have remnants of it, especially where this finger choil is right here. See, it's more blue, except for when the light glares off of it, it's bronze, but under different angles it's more blue. Anyway, so just want to share that with you. I'm going to get that knife put together and see what it looks like. Now, I was under the impression that Spyderco did nothing to the lock face of the Spyderco Sage, but after I had it in the multi-etch acid bath and anodizing, I'm really thinking that they carburized their lock face. Now, the reason why is when I put it in the acid bath, it gives the titanium a real matte, like a bead blast finish. If you can see how the matte finish is of the titanium. Well, everything has a matte finish except for the lock face, because the acid eats away at the titanium. Okay, you see how shiny that lock face still is, and I noticed when it was in the acid bath that it wasn't, you know, bubbling like everything else. And then after anodizing, you can see that, well, after the first anodizing, like that was still like a silver color, and it looks like just like a Sebenza lock face. So maybe they do carburize it. That's my opinion. Here's a better angle of the lock face. It's definitely treated with something. It's probably carburized, but the reason it doesn't increase the lifespan is maybe they're not as good as Chris Reeve. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because this is supposed to be a tribute to Chris Reeve, the Chris Reeve integral lock. Hey, what's up guys? Here we are about 2 weeks later since when we started the before video. So now that we're all finished, I'm going to go ahead and go through these and show you what I did to them all. Random order. I got this Hinder 3-inch XM-18 non-flipper. I heat anodized all the hardware. Everything that you see is bronze was heat anodized. All the steel standoff pins, log bar stabilizer screws, pocket clip screws, these standoffs. Those standoffs look like the anodized titanium ones, but those are actually heat anodized steel. The body screws, polished the pivot, bronze anodized the pocket clip and filler tab bronze. It was like a dark bronze, and then I stonewashed it for a light bronze, so where all the scratch marks from the stonewashing gave it a really bright bronze color, where the rest of it's dark. And then for the liner, anodized it blue, stonewashed it, anodized it purple, stonewashed it again, then anodized it bronze. And I'm going to go ahead and roll in a picture now, because if you look closely at the liner, You can see it's all blue and purple, and then the edges of it are bronze from the stonewashing, and there's a lot of specks of bronze in it, kind of like lightning strike carbon fiber. So that came out really cool. Here's a closer look at the pocket clip, the different bronze colors in the pocket clip from repeated anodizing and stonewashing. Alright, next up we've got the one that I spent the most amount of time on, which is the Socom Delta. Start with the blade. I acid washed the blade. This is S35VN. So I gave it like a tooth, I guess a tooth pattern or a flame pattern on the blade, and then acid washed it. Came out very nice, and this was originally a tanto, so at the request of the customer, kind of blended that into to where it's more of a spanto grind, so it has more of a belly. So they used to have an abrupt, you know, like a tanto, just a straight edge and then a straight edge up. Put a mirror polished edge on it, on the wicked edge. And the hardware, everything you see that's bronze, all the steel screws, those were heat anodized bronze. The lock bar is titanium, anodized that bronze. Acid washed the pocket clip. And the back spacer is titanium also, anodized that bronze, along with the stop pin there, heat anodized bronze. And carbonized the lock. This has a steel insert, but still carbonized it for a longer life. Very smooth. This one has bearings in it. This thing is wicked smooth. Next up, we've got a Spyderco Techno. You remember this one? Let's go over what I did to this. First, I anodized this a dark blue, stonewashed it, re-anodized it again a purple, so you got purple specks in the finish, and then stonewashed it a little bit for those bronze specks that you see in there. You can get that in there. See, there's a few bronze specks, like the edges. You can see it more on the edges. And heat anodized all the hardware, the pocket clip and the screws. They didn't come out as I guess pronounced as the sage knives that I'm going to show you in a second, because of the sandblasted finish on the screws, but it still came out better than plain silver. And then it pretty much matches the back spacer. I was trying to get a little bit darker than that back spacer, but pretty much came out the same color. Show you a close-up of the finish so you can see that bronze in there. See those bronze specks, and the edges are also bronze. Also carbonized the lock on this one. Alright, next up we have a Spyderco Sage 1/2. So we got the titanium display scale on the front side, and the carbon fiber from a Sage 1 on the other side. So yeah, the Sage 2 is all titanium, Sage 1 is carbon fiber. So this side looks plain, just like a regular Sage 1. And this side you got a light blue anodized scale, just a plain matte finish. No stone wash, no bead blast. It was originally bead blasted, but left in the acid etch for quite a while, so it took away the bead blast finish and just left the matte finish. So it came out very bright and even. Heat anodized the screws. Came out real dark bronze. And everything else on here is stock. Now to the one. To debate which one took longer, this one or this one. It could be a toss-up. Let's get into this one right here. This is a Sage 2. Now this one was a project right here. It's really fun experimenting with this one, but Alright, let's see, I took it to the Stonewasher, stonewashed it, and anodized it blue. First anodized it blue, so that's why you got blue inside the pocket clip hole there, and on the low spots and on the inside everything is blue. Yeah, I did a light blue on this one, around 26 volts for this blue. And then took it to the Stonewasher for about 6 hours and anodized it dark bronze. And at certain angles, this is actually like a color changing finish right here. Because whenever you stonewashed it, it took all the blue off. There was no blue at all on the scales. But when I anodized it, like you can see there's still some blue in some areas, because when you look at it at some angles it looks blue like right there, but when you glare it off the light it's definitely bronze. It's a very unique finish right here. See on the lock bar area there it's blue, but when you glare it off the light it's bronze. Very cool color changing titanium. So inside the screw holes it's all blue. And polish the screws and heat anodize those bronze. And the standoffs, polish the standoffs, heat anodize those bronze along with the stop pin. And pocket clip, I just stonewashed it. It was a plain black pocket clip. So yeah. Carbonized the lock on this one also. This one came out really nice. I'm going to be doing this a lot more in the future. Very smooth. Put some nice grease in there. But I really like this finish, how it's color changing depending on the angle you look at it. And this one took quite a bit also. Putting the nail polish on the blade and acid washing it. Stonewash this one by hand, and then taking each individual screw and holding it to a torch to the right amount of time, because if you leave it on there too long you'll burn your steel and then you'll go past bronze and you can't go back once you do that. Plus you'll ruin the heat treat on it. And I also, yeah, carbonized where the thumb stud rest is on here to give it a longer life. Also carbonized the back of the thumb studs. Should give it a little bit longer life. And I got all these Socom Elites. Had to take those apart to carbonize the lock, the steel insert on the Socom Elite. All these pretty much had some late lockup, so carbonizing it will prevent it from, you know, giving it later lockup later. It should stay where it's at right now. And then we tried to, on one of these, to carbonize the thumb stud area, because the reason these are getting later lockup is because the steel thumb stud is hitting against the aluminum and it's causing denting, and that gives it later lockup. Instead of on a titanium frame lock, it's actually wearing away the titanium. But anyways, got a new strider here. Pretty cool. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoy the video and have a safe day, safe rest of your week. See you later.